Okay. Thank you. Yeah, you had to kick me off stage. Hi.
Nice shoes.
Thank you. Spicy. I usually do this when people have more drinks in them, so I don't know how this is gonna. Well, we're gonna work on this together. Okay. So I'm gonna talk about the story of how, as a queer woman, I ended up with a man. Yeah, with a cisgendered heterosexual dude. For me, this is how this happened for me. So like, you know, like when I got to be in my 30s, like then people in their 40s are in dateable range. And I have a theory that they became more interesting to me because by then a lot of them had been beaten down by life enough to be worth talking to. So I meet him, I'm at a party in New York City and I meet him and he's so nice and kind and I'm like, weird, this is weird. So I give him my card because I was like maybe. And then he called me, or he texted me later that night to ask if he could call me the next day to ask me to dinner. To dinner. I was like, he's a sociopath. There's something up. So he calls me and I propose we go to this place that I couldn't afford because I was like, if I'm going to dip my toe into the patriarchy, I'm going to enjoy the goods which are bestowed. You know, I'm going to enjoy. So we go out and then we connect immediately, and so years later we're still together, and I like to tell this story because I feel like, you know, like life is more complicated than a simple category, and there is a gray area that exists in all dimensions, and if you two are feeling like, you know, you don't quite fit anywhere, I wanted to let you know you're not alone and you belong. So thank you. Okay.
So I'm going to start with the fact that when I heard what the subject was today, I was really inspired because I was so inspired by the subject today because in a month will be the anniversary of my late stepson's death. He lived here in West Palm Beach, right here. And he had a band called Spice. And in the song Spice, right now, which is playing, it's the loudest it can go, is sampled the words from the movie Dune, from the book Dune, which I read when I was a teenager. And the words from the movie and the book Dune are, "He who controls the spice controls the world." That's what's sampling right now on the music. And I don't know if any of you are familiar with that, but what it refers to is, in the book, there's a planet that has spice, and everybody wants the spice. What is the spice? And in the song, it refers to a girl or a person who has the spice. And what is that? You guys know what that is. Everybody knows what that is. We all know what it is. Isn't it true? That's something that attracts you to somebody, that makes you feel really good, that you want. And it's something that everybody wants. We all want spice. We all want spice in our life. We all want something that's amazing, that gives us something so inspiring that we feel like living.
Good morning, my spicy peeps. Hey, I will get there. Yeah. Just calm down.
I'm good.
I am a creator. I'm a ceaseless seeker of joy, and I'm a classic overcommitter. So if you would know from my self-introduction that I'm also a lover of alliteration, but I'm going to try not to do that all morning. So my ceaseless seeking of joy is really about gardening. That's my passion. And when last month was my first time at a Creative Mornings meeting, and then I hear the theme spicy, and I turned and I said, oh my God, I have to show them how to literally spice up your life. So that's what we're going to do today. So you might be wondering why you dress like this. I'm in my favorite garden geek chic. You know, this is what I look like on Saturday morning in the garden. I walked down this morning and my husband, like, you know, I said, oh, I have this networking thing in the morning. And he's like, I walked down the steps and he goes, what the fuck are you wearing? Because you're going to a professional networker. People are not going to talk to you. They're going to think you're crazy. So this is just, I am doing my gardening hat today, so that's why I'm wearing it. So I have a little show and tell that I'm going to do over here. We're literally going to plant a garden, and this is I'll say this is the first time I planted a garden on water, on a boat. Yeah. You get like a nice big bag of potting soil. This is moisture control, and this is our pot. You just kind of cut the top off. Drainage is good, so you just like stab it a couple times. Ginger and turmeric are two of my favorite things. Always good to have. That's good spices. Ginger goes on top, turmeric goes on bottom. You kind of go down like 6 or 8 inches. Oh, God. I like where this is. I like where this is going. So that's layer number 1. Layer number 2, everybody loves spicy hot peppers. Hot sauce, hot sauces. Easy to do, you just kind of loosen the roots up. Put it on one side, you pop it in. Finally, we'll do the seeds. We'll spread our seed. So microgreens or arugula or anything like the spicy greens, mustards, these are so easy to grow. These are really small seeds, so the smaller the seed, the higher it goes in the ground. Like, it doesn't need a lot of coverage. The bigger seed, like beans and stuff, you plant deeper. Finally, for a touch of color, these are edible flowers that are spicy. Some people, nasturtium. This is a really easy thing to grow. I'm going to pop a nasturtium seed in the one side. They'll big and they'll grow over the edges. And you can pop the whole flower in your mouth. It's got like a peppery bite, and it's fun to taste test because like the deeper colors are spicier than the lighter colors. So basically, that's the garden. Water it, let it go. In 5 minutes, you can plant a garden and add spice to your life. So I implore you all to go out and spread your seed. And that's it.
But at this time in this world, happiness can be an elusive and ever-changing target. And even if we're clear about what sweet looks like, it's not really possible to live there full time, simply by seeking it for itself. We would get oversaturated, oversugared. And then it would just be the water we're swimming in. Typical, common, and its effects would lose potency. It's like trying to live as if on a full-time vacation, or shopping for a fragrance and noticing that they all start to smell the same. The notion of it, or the beginning of the experience, if it seems grand. But in practicality, it lacks staying. And that's why spice is so important. It can serve as an enhancer, an activator, a catalyst. And like a good day's work, or a coffee bean for the olfactory nerve, it grounds us, it resets us, and allows us to have the full range of impact from the original source experience. Think of your closest and most valuable relationships. Are they composed only of compliments and laughter and sweetness all the time? Or do you get into it sometimes? You know, is there more truth, more substance, even grit? I mean, ride or die doesn't sound sweet to me. Even though, to be fair, there's, plenty of joy and sugar in it. It's also got some pepper in it. As I said, spicy has an edge. It creates separation, contrast, distinction, texture in recipes both literal and figurative. Spicy can stir up a powerful response in the mouth, in the mind, in the heart, in the loins. I assert that it can even remind us that we're alive. You lack spice and you lack the soil in which vibrant vegetation can grow. So whether it's experiencing your own shadow, the shadow side of self, our darker natures, or encountering bad news, a tough personality in another person, or a set of circumstances beyond your control, things that can stir up heat and pressure and resistance, I say embrace the spices of life and allow them to highlight all the good stuff. Here's to sugar and spice and everything nice.
This is what kindergarten teachers do, by the way. Kindergarten teachers sit back, they're quiet, it looks like they're ignoring you. They're not ignoring you. They are paying such close attention to you that I heard Corey talk about spice in a way that I had been thinking about it all week. And then he said something that I hadn't expected. And the kindergarten teacher needs to be prepared for Corey! And Corey's pissed off at somebody this morning. He didn't even know how to get here. He was not sure. He was in the garage going the wrong way. I'm sorry. He was. I was prepared to tell him a significant story today about creative murder. We haven't even gotten there yet. I'm still in the war. That's what happens to kindergarten teachers. You think we're cute. You think we're cute! And when we yell, you don't like us! But I'm garlic and you love me. You want me at every freaking meal. You're like Mediterranean, yes. Asian, of course. Put me in your barbecue and invite me to every freaking party. But Lisa, don't stay too long. You're obnoxious and loud and you get bitter. I'm a kindergarten teacher, people. I'm like most teachers. I am a grown-ass adult. I am not the children I am teaching. You bring me your children every single day, and you ask me to take care of them. You say, here's Rosemary. Don't treat her like oregano. And when I forget that Rosemary isn't oregano, I promise you, in the classroom, I am saying, honey, I am sorry. I called you Kathleen and not Kat. Your children know that I am the sweetest freaking garlic in the drawer. Because in addition to being a kindergarten teacher, and a mom, and garlic, I am an actor. I'm a stage. I am an improviser. I am your director of joy. I know how to do it. When you say, how the hell do they do it? I know how. They play with your kids all the time. They touch your kids. They hug your kids. They ask your kids questions that may make you uncomfortable. But if we want to know Rosemary and help Rosemary go into whatever recipe Rosemary chooses for herself, because I am not directing Rosemary to her own joy. I am letting Corey know that he has a report to do, and it is not Katrina's, and it is not mine, and it is not DJ's. Who, by the way, intellectual property is important. Actors learn how to control their emotions through improvisation. That's an entirely different conversation. But actors learn to honor the spice by playing with their emotions in improv class.
Today I'm going to be talking about poetry from Chile. Chile is considered the land of the poets because of a rich poetry tradition that includes poetry and also fiction and also performance. Poetry is a part of expression. And specifically today, I want to talk about the poet and artist Cecilia Vicuña, who creates work to this day in honor of los desaparecidos, the disappeared. Now, the disappeared, los desaparecidos in Chile is a very difficult topic to talk about. There was a military dictatorship in Chile during the 1970s. And when people spoke out against or expressed views against those in charge, it would disappear. And it created a culture of fear. It created a culture where people were afraid to acknowledge what was happening around them, afraid to use their voice. And today, during National Poetry Month, on this beautiful sea, where we experience so much liberty, so much freedom, we have so much ability to express ourselves and say the words in our hearts and our minds. I'll be reading in both English and Spanish. Paz and sea. To bear another, to be a pair, to be torn apart. Oír decir, el mal se inventó, para tener de qué hablar. I heard it was said, evil was invented to give us something to talk about. Pero cómo hablar si las sílabas caen al mar? But how to speak if each syllable falls into the sea? La M de madre se va, abre. The M of mother, drifting away. Other. Where have you gone? La P de padre se hunde un poco más ahí. Padre. ¿Dónde estás? The F of father, sinking further down. Other. Where have you gone? Los lanzaron de arte. They didn't fall down. They were thrown to leave us without speech to drown our words. During National Poetry Month, this month of April, de abril, I want to encourage everyone here to read poetry from the oppressed, from those who are living under regime